Hi guys, my name is Crystal and today I'm going to share with you a easy dessert called broken glass jello. This jello can be made in a dish or in individual cups. I'm going to share how to make a rainbow one, but you can make any color theme of choice. This jello is perfect for any event such as holidays, baby showers, birthdays, quinceañeras, and so much more. Besides looking beautiful, it's also a delicious dessert. So if you guys enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And let's get started with the ingredients that you will need. Ingredients that we're going to be using is we're going to be using gelatin of your choice. I have the Jello brand, Jolly Rancher brand, and also the Starburst brand, but it really doesn't matter the brand. I've used name brand and also store brand. It works the same. We're going to be using 4 boxes of the 3 ounces, but I'm going to be doubling the recipe, so I'm going to use a little bit extra. And the theme that I'm going for is rainbow. So I have a red one, I have an orange one, I have a yellow one. This is the yellow one. I have a green one, a purple, and a blue. Now I do have extra ones so I can make sure I equal out, but it's always best to have extra jello versus the milk part. So for the milk jello part, we're going to need 1 can of condensed milk. Now you can use 1 to 2 cans if you are doubling it, but even if you are doubling the jello amount, you can get away with using 1 can. And then to make the milk jello part, this is the unflavored gelatin that we're going to use. I will be putting all the measurements down in the description. So what I'm going to start by making is the jello. This is what takes the most time. I just follow the directions behind the package. And I usually like to do this 2 days in advance, if not the night before like I am today. So I'm going to make my jello just the same way, you know, following the directions. And I will show you guys the next step. So I finished making the jello. I'm going to put a lid on them and put them in the fridge. For the milk jello that I'm making, like the mosaic jello or the broken glass jello, I like to use square molds or rectangular molds or containers, just so that when I cut into squares it's easier. But if you want to use a mold or whatever you have, totally fine. It's just this is my preference, and since I am making a rainbow theme, I have the red, orange, yellow, green, purple, and blue, but you can use any color that you want. I made this for baby showers. I made this for just a quinceañera where it's just the theme of the color and it was just a blue. So really you can use 1 or 2 or as many colors as you want. Definitely you can do it however you want. This is just what I'm going to be doing today for my daughter's birthday. So I'm going to let these set in the fridge. Usually 4 hours overnight is best. That's why I say it'll take about 2 days, but you can do this in 1 day as well too. So this is actually the next day. I'm going to start by making the milk jello, and what you will need is 2 packs of the gelatin, the unflavored kind, and you can find this in the same section that you will find the jello. And then I'm going to add half a cup of cold water, and I'm going to give this a good mix. All I want this to do is to bloom, and you'll see that it will change its form. And once that blooms, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of hot water. And after adding that 1.5 cups of hot water to the gelatin that's already bloomed, you want to give this a good mix before adding the condensed milk. I did it in this video for whatever reason. If you do it, it's totally fine. It's not a big deal. The only thing is that you're just going to have to mix a little bit more. So I recommend once you get that hot water, mix it in and then add that whole can of condensed milk. And this is your milk part. If you're using a bigger tray, this will fit in perfectly. If you are going to use a dish, you will need more of the milk jello, but I ended up using about half of it. And if you have leftover milk jello, you can always put that in another separate dish, and it is such a good jello just on its own. It's just the milk jello on its own. Anyways, until I am ready, I don't take out the jellos from the fridge because then they start getting just a little bit watery, or they need to be nice and cold. So I cut them with a butter knife in squares, and some of them didn't come out that pretty, but it wasn't a big deal to me. You can also use molds or whatever you have on hand. But pretty much you're gonna layer it however you want. If you have a cup and you want to do a certain color, just layer it however you want. This is the way I want it layered, and do not add your milk until it is ready. I pour it in very slowly. As soon as the milk touches, the milk jello touches the cold jello, it starts to set pretty quick. If you're doing it in individual cups, it will set pretty fast, like in 5 minutes, or as you are adding it in. So once I add the milk jello, like I said, I had a lot left over, so I just put it in cups, and they are so good on their own. I'm gonna let this sit for about 1 to 2 hours, or even a couple of hours. 4 is good. And this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like all done. You guys can definitely use any color theme. It goes great with cake for birthday parties. Everybody wonders all the time how you made it. This is what it looks like all cut up. It is pretty cool to see all the different colors, but I have done one single color, and it also looks pretty. This is what they look like in individual cups. This is my favorite way to use them, and they do travel pretty good. What I do is I use a cooler bag, and I just put a lot of ice packs in there, and it does pretty well. As long as it's not in a hot area, you can always keep them in a fridge. They're great for parties for little ones and for adults. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.
You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours.